Once upon a night in the land of traffic laws and very questionable moral compasses, after a hit soon to be a run, a man stood next to his dinged-up car, taking photos for insurance like a responsible citizen. Enter the stranger. Our not-so-friendly stranger hits reverse on the social contract and unalives the man mid-photo session. Not cool, bro. Now cue Detective Jung Tae-suk, a cop casually dressed, an attitude, and exactly zero patience for higher-ups who can't connect dots unless they're holding a coloring book. He's on his way to a crime scene and casually stops by an unconnected, unannounced crime scene, beating up the gang, discovering the illegal underground gambling den, and arrests the cashier. Meanwhile, in the Mafia cinematic universe, Jang Dong-soo, local crime boss, he gets a call from his beat-up crew, while he is also in a one-sided beating session. He calls the boss of Jung, who calls Jung, who couldn't care two poops. He gets a ride from his just-arrested cashier and handcuffs him to his own motorbike and walks to and looks at the crime scene, rubs his temples, and mutters, "Y'all, this ain't just a hit and run, it's a hit and run and stab." But his commanding officer, bless him, is out here treating serial killers like Bigfoot. Interesting in theory, but definitely not real. Jang Dong-soo, walking red flag, allegedly, has a little totally legit mafia meeting with Sang-do's. And during the meeting, beats his right-hand man and pulls out the teeth of Sang-do's right man and gives his friend to drink. The night is still young, but not for he boss. He tells his boys dipping out alone, obviously against their wishes, and he dips. He's cruising home, probably humming to some crime boss jazz and talking on the phone when, bam! The same stranger hits his car. Dong-soo says it's okay, shocking the stranger who tries to insist. But Big Boss walks back to his car when the stranger, like he bought up all the audacities, attacks him. But unlike the last poor sap, Dong-soo fights back. And it's not a dainty slap fight either. It's full-on WWE meets Fast and Furious. Stranger danger limps away, injured. Bumps Dong-soo. Technically, Dong-soo wakes in a hospital, furious. His henchmen, in classic henchman fashion, go, "Must be a rival gang," and proceed to throw fists at the nearest gang with matching tattoos. Sang-do's visits Dong-soo in the hospital, totally beaming with insults, and of course, a token of goodwill.
We have a serial predator. Please, let me get him. Please. We finally have a victim who survived.
Jang! No! Leave him alone!
Tae-suk again, popping up at the hospital like a morally conflicted Batman. "Let's team up," he says. "You've got muscle. I've got paperwork." Dong-soo raises a single, threatening eyebrow and goes, "Fine, but whoever finds him first gets dibs. You want justice? I want vengeance. Winner takes stabby." Boom. The deadly duo is born. A cop and a gangster walk into a murder investigation. And honestly, it's giving buddy comedy energy. Using Dong-soo's shaky memory and a license plate number that someone probably found using a combination of Google and prayer, they track down the killer's car and knife. You know, just serial killer starter pack things. Suddenly, we're cooking. But then, Dong-soo decides to go full telenovela villain. He hands the killer's bloodstained knife to his own right-hand man, Kwon Oh-sung, and tells him, "Take out Heo Sang-do. Make it messy. Make it poetic. The goal? Frame the killer for it. Problem? That is so illegal." And Tae-suk? Not amused. Tae-suk storms in like a mom who just found out her kids threw a party while she was out of town. "Bro," he yells. "Nessa, you can't just fabricate serial murders. Watch me." Their bromance hits turbulence. The case is reassigned to the big dogs in the major case squad, and everyone's getting yelled at in every possible font. Dong-soo shows up at Sang-do's funeral. Awkward. But guess who else is there? That's right, the actual killer. Just vibing, lurking, and gives a note to Sang-do's second-in-command. "He wasn't unalived by me, but with my knife." Weird, right? Cut to Tae-suk and Dong-soo bonding over breaking and entering into the killer's car. Again, they're digging for clues, probably humming the Pink Panther theme when they're jumped by Sang-do's men. Cue another fight scene, this time with even fewer brain cells and a lot more punch first. Ask questions later. In the chaos, Sang-do's right-hand man gets unalived. Tae-suk is 73% done with life. Dong-soo handles the cleanup like a pro. Quick burial, no receipts, no trace. Tae-suk gets assigned a fresh case because obviously his boss wants to punish him with more trauma. It's a kidnapping, but while unraveling it, who does he see creeping around? Mr. Stabby himself. The chase is on, but the killer's a little rat with 9 lives and greasy shoes, and he disappears again. Still, DNA doesn't lie. Tae-suk finds out the killer is a guy named Kang Kyung-ho, previously filed under missing people, probably not murderers yet. He loops Dong-soo in, plays a voice recording, and Dong-soo's eyes go wide. That's him. That's the man who made me bleed my own blood. And just when we things might chill out for a hot second, plot twist. Dong-soo, on his Good Samaritan arc, gives an umbrella to a teen girl on a monkey rain beautiful day to the surprise of Tae-suk. Cut to later. Girl is found unalived, and guess whose umbrella is at the scene? Our mob boss with a heart of semi-gold. Now it's personal. He and Tae-suk rally their respective goons and cronies, combing the area. They spot the killer in a car. Cue a chase scene that makes Mad Max look like a Vespa commercial.
Where is he?
Over there!
Oh-sung, Dong-soo's right-hand man, tries to take down the killer but gets unalived in the process. Rip, loyal king. Dong-soo finally captures the killer, knocks him out, and drags him off to a secret hideout for a little talk. Translation: slow, painful torture. But before he can go full chainsaw massacre, Tae-suk tracks the hideout and Grand Theft Auto rams his car into the building like a man on a mission. Hits Dong-soo with the bumper, arrests the killer, and scolds everyone like a disappointed dad. And then the justice system enters like, we can't actually charge him with anything, because the killer's cleaner than a teenager's browser history during a parent inspection. Tae-suk's like, fine, let's try a Hail Mary. He turns to Dong-soo. Testify. Be the hero. I'll keep your crimes quiet-ish. Dong-soo agrees, but with a final request. When this is over, put me in the same prison as the killer. I want a sleepover. Courtroom drama time. Tae-suk's pacing like a caffeinated lawyer. Dong-soo shows up, looking like he walked out of a gangster fashion show, and calmly drops bombshells on the witness stand. He also sneakily frames the killer for Sang-do's murder. But the opposition lawyer is such a pain in the... So Dong-soo does what only a real on would and takes off his shirt. Everyone gasps. I swear he's the most fittest big guy I have ever seen. My heaven, it's getting hot here. He points to all his wounds, and he points out a wound he gave the killer ages ago, which still exists. Gross but convenient. Gavel drops. Kyung-ho gets the death sentence. But karma's a snitch. Dong-soo is also arrested for, literally everything. Tae-suk, however, finally gets that shiny promotion. Yay, justice! Cut to prison. Dong-soo gets a king's welcome, and Stranger gets chills for the first time. Dong-soo is finally transferred to share a roof with Kyung-ho, per their murdery little agreement. He later walks in, sees his stabby old nemesis showering, grabs a rope like it's the world's worst friendship bracelet, and smiles.